What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Pull List with Ryan. It's a little different, as you can see. We're not in the car. It is not Wednesday.
Not Wednesday.
It is actually a Thursday, the day after our pools from yesterday. But Andres and I came on this video so we can explain, it's a welcome video, basically, get to know who I am. But this is like a rough draft of our potential podcast coming in the future.
Yeah, and also celebrating Ryan's 100 subscribers.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so this is like a big
subscribers.
fee for him. That's so cool.
Yeah, and shout out to Andres, Amy, and Leslie. And if you guys haven't seen Amy, she's in the past videos. If you just scroll a little bit lower on the videos there,
Yeah,
she's on there from the OC Fair. But shout out to them for setting this up. And Andres and Amy bought me a cake, and then Leslie set everything up along with Andres and Amy. So thank you to all of you. I appreciate you. And thank you to all 100 subscribers. It means a lot. I never thought I would reach this milestone. But thank you. Thank you so much. You guys are all very, very supportive. And this is actually your audition for who's going to be my podcast host. so we're going to see if you actually pass.
let me know if I do good. If not, then we got to cut it.
And in full honesty, this is our take 2. So we're kind of warmed up, right?
Yeah, feel a lot better now.
Yeah, take 1 was out of focus.
Yes,
but we've gotten a better setup now, so that's good. Welcome to our podcast, I would say. And this is Andres. I'm Ryan. You'll get to know a little bit of us, especially me, because I know I've been promising all of you to explain my backgrounds and how I got into comics. But I think it's only right that we start with Andres because he is the most experienced comic enthusiast between the both of us.
Yeah. So
how'd you get into comics?
So getting into comics, it was really tricky. But ever since I was a kid, I always loved looking at comics. Every time Scholastic books would come around and they'll have their book sale, everything that was there, I didn't really get drawn to, but just comic books. And they were cheap kid comic books. Probably had some Mickey characters on there, and there was just it was just meh. And all the other kids, they were interested in Captain Underpants, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, all these bigger books, and that was just never me. So later on, I just wanted to know more about comic books, reading or watching even the Marvel movies as well. So I came across DC Universe. So there it's an online where it has all the comic books of DC. So it's a subscription base, but it's really cool because that's what got me into knowing what more and more of comics were. And then I was like, dude, I actually wanted a physical comic book. So I went to Barnes & Noble one day, and there I saw Batman, The Long Halloween. Now, I've seen Batman, The Long Halloween before, but once I went into that Barnes & Noble, I just started reading it, and having the physical paper there in my hand, reading that comic book, it was a game changer. I just fell in love with the artwork and, the storyline. It was just amazing. And so that's what really, really piqued my interest, because having DC Universe, it was just so daunting having all those comic books. I'm like, dude, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what's a good storyline. I'm just reading some random comics. And here, being in that store at Barnes & Noble, just reading the trade paperback of The Long Halloween, it just wow, this is amazing. That story at Barnes & Noble, it just really grew a passion for just Batman and all his lore, and I wanted to find out more. So what I did was follow a lot of Instagram pages that were kind of about comic books, and I found out that there was this new issue of Absolute Batman coming out, and I was really excited about it, but I didn't know how to get it. I honestly didn't know. I didn't even know about Comic Book Wednesdays at all. So I was just so curious on how to get it. So I kept calling different comic book stores. I kept calling even ones that were 30 minutes out. I was just hey, do you guys have this comic book of Absolute Batman? They're nah, we don't have Absolute
That's for
Batman.
issue 1, right?
Yeah, for issue number 1. And I kept calling, and all of them were saying that we don't have it. And I was just man, that's really tricky. It's comic books this rare to collect. So I just went into my local comic book store one day. It was 5 minutes away from my house, and the guy, I asked him, I was like, hey, do you guys have Absolute Batman? And he's like, no, but we are gonna have a second printing coming out. And I was like, I don't want a second printing. Like I want the issue number 1. Like that's like the very beginning. That's what I want. And he was just so nice and explained to me everything about it. Like, oh, it's just like so popular that they're gonna start reprinting issue number 1 so that like new readers can get into it as well and purchase it for themselves. And I was just so excited. So the next week that came up, I went in there on Wednesday, and there it was on the shelf, and I just saw like all these other comic books that were like new out today, and I was like, what the heck? Like, there's so many other stories that like they have out, and I just came in for one, and I started buying multiples, and they were just so nice. The whole community, like every time I went into a comic book shop, they always like welcomed me and wanted to show me something new, and they taught me about like comic book Wednesdays, and then from there I just learned about like what single issues were, trade paperbacks, omnibus, because honestly all of comic books is so daunting at times, where like going into that comic book shop, like it made it so easy, but it was so hard to get into at first. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
Yeah.
I totally get it. And I've known Andres for a while now. And when he would talk about comics or read comics, and I think I've seen him read comics every time we went to Barnes & Noble, I just never understood.
Yeah.
Because there were just so many books on the shelves. Like, where do you even start? I see Batman Hush. I see Batman Long Halloween. I see Batman Year One. Where do you go?
Yeah.
Like, where do you even start? So I was on the same boat, and as a kid, I was actually on the opposite side of what you were talking about. I was that kid that got money from my parents, fortunately, who bought Diary of a Wimpy Kid, who bought Captain Underpants, the Big Nate book.
Yeah.
If you guys remember that, that was me.
Yeah.
And then I would see these little comic books. It wasn't even single issues. They were like smaller trade paperbacks, and I never bought them because I didn't know where to even start.
Yeah.
So for me, how I got started, if you all are wondering, and I'm sure you are because I've been hyping it up to this point, it's because of Andres. I remember this day. It was July 11th of 2025. I was actually on a leave of absence from work because I was taking care of my dad because he was going through some health stuff. And I was just stressed all the time, and I just didn't know what to do. And I wanted an escape, but to the point where, like, the escape was something enjoyable, And I didn't know what that was yet, but you were on vacation with Amy, which is his partner. Where'd you guys go?
Yeah, so we went to Pismo Beach, and we were camping out there, and
It was a Wednesday.
yeah, it was Wednesday, and I was like, dude, like I'm not gonna go to my comic book shop, like I can't find anything around here. So I texted Ryan, and I was like, Ryan, if you could do me a favor, like head into the comic book shop. There's 3 pulls I need, and they're like one of the best lines that are like happening out right now. And so yeah, I really wanted these comics, and I texted Ryan, and I was like, yo, Ryan, do you mind helping me out? Like, head into the comic book shop. I sent him the photos of the variants that I wanted, and
the rest was history. So I was wondering why he told me to go to the Atomic Comics in Cerritos right when it opened. I thought it was going to be like a Pokemon type of vibe, because when I used to collect Pokemon cards and sports cards, I would go to Target and people are lined up at 5 a.m.
yeah.
And it would be sold out by the doors open. Like a minute later, it's gone because all the scalpers came. But I thought it was going to be a similar vibe. But when I went, that store actually opened a couple hours before because it was a Wednesday, new comic book Wednesday. So I went in there. I asked the employee, I was like, hey, do you have this in stock? I showed them pictures. And he told me, like, there's actually a wall dedicated for new releases, and that's how most comic book shops work. So I went up there, and immediately these 3 issues that changed my life were fully available, and I was like 2 hours late. And that's Absolute Batman number 9, Batman and Robin Jason Todd number 1, and Death of a Silver Surfer number 1. These were the 3 pulls that to Andres, it was a regular Wednesday, but that was the most special Wednesday that for me, because I bought them for him, and then I just left because I was in there for maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes. And then there were some people in there. They were super nice. I struck up a conversation, and they were asking me what comics I read. And I said, this is just for my friend. I'm just picking it up, and I'm leaving. And then when I had bought them, I was just looking at them. They were still in these bag and boards. I remember when the cashier had asked me, do you want a bag and board? And I was like, I don't even know what that is. Sure. How much are they? 25 cents? fine. I'm sure Andres wants bagging boards. And actually,
Yeah.
I found out later he doesn't bag and board.
Yeah, I mean, I had like a whole collection where I haven't been bag and boarding, but it's important too.
Yeah.
It's important. You
Now,
need it
now he bag and
I changed my
boards.
ways. I changed my ways.
Yeah, so after this, I was just looking at them and immediately I ordered 2 trade paperbacks on Amazon because I was trying to figure out what do I want to read. And I don't know anything about DC, Marvel, or anything. So I saw Stranger Things on there, Dungeons and Dragons. So I bought this first and I fell in love with comics. I read this in one sitting, and to me, it was so impactful. And the reason I like this, and a lot of people like it, I think Dark Horse Comics did a great job.
Yeah.
But it's because I play Dungeons and Dragons every week, every Tuesday with my friends, and I love the show Stranger Things. So I got really hooked onto it, and I really wanted to read a Batman book because Andres has been hyping Batman
Yeah, like I'll nonstop talk about Batman. It's
all the time.
Yeah.
So I didn't know where to start. So I couldn't start at number 9, and that's when I understood, okay, I got to find number 1. And it turns out there was a 7th printing coming out of Absolute Batman, so I have to wait like 3 weeks for that. So I was back issue hunting. I had every single issue except for number 1. And finally, when the 7th printing came out, I was super hyped, so I bought it. But before all that, I had purchased Batman year 1. And to me, this is what started like superhero comics for me. It was so difficult to read at first because it was a little bit older.
yeah.
The language was older, but the art is definitely, it ages really well, especially like Jim Gordon, Batman.
Yeah. The storyline is just so amazing. And at like the very beginning when I told Ryan to like, hey, if you head into this comic book shop for me, I did not expect for him to like, go back to that store and even buy like some of the same issues that I purchased that week. I was just so surprised because he like came back to me and he's like, yo, like I got this as well. I got like a variant cover. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this is, but it's pretty dope. And I was like, dude, what the heck? Like, that's so cool. So he asked me for like my recommendation of what he should read to like get into comics. And yeah, so I recommended Batman Year One because it has like such a good start. You don't need to know like any prior lore. So I just thought it would be a fun read, but it is a little bit difficult to get into just because it is pretty wordy, but it does want to like fill you in on that information. It starts to pick up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that's how I immediately got into comics. And before I dive in a little bit deeper, something I want to mention are my hobbies. I had no time for reading comics. I didn't even picture that because I was like, why do I want to read something that's fiction? Something
Yeah.
not real. These are superheroes. But the message that they just portray and give to the readers is so impactful. Like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, those are my heroes because they always want to do good every single time, even though if the whole world is against them, they would always bet on themselves, one versus the world. And no matter what injustice or what problems they face, they always seek for justice for everyone.
Yeah,
No
I
matter if
agree.
you're bad, you're good, they always do that. So that's really why I went to read comics, because of the message. And I remember I spoke to my therapist about this, just complete transparency. Why, like, I don't know why I'm getting emotional about these fictional characters. And then I remember her saying that behind these fictional characters are real writers. These are real living writers, and they're the ones providing this message.
Yeah.
So that's what struck me, and that's one of the reasons I kept reading and reading. Because before, as you all know, probably been noticed, because I always wear sports gear. Like when I'm filming these videos, I love Formula One, I love basketball, baseball, all sports. And now I have comics to come in, so I'm trying to like balance my time out. And I also read books. I read fantasy, self-help, and I haven't honestly picked up any of those books. I'm trying to bring that back, but honestly, I'm just so sucked into this world because it's so amazing.
Yeah.
But do you have any hobbies that you want to share real quick?
Yeah, so I don't know. Some hobbies that I like doing is playing pickleball. It's something that I'm trying to get into right now. Another thing as well is just like playing a lot of Marvel Rivals too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I always game with like my friends. We're always online, so it's pretty dope to like have that group as well. And they love hearing about like my stories or like adventures of like going out to get some new comics as well. So yeah, just a lot of gaming and just like being outside in nature, going out for walks. Yeah. But yeah, I agree with Ryan. Like a lot of these stories have like a lot of like emotional stakes, and these characters are like defeating these villains or conquering like just just kind of like crazy boundaries of just like emotions that we don't even realize. We think it's just like another villain, but it could also be like, just like a lot of, I don't know where I'm trying to get out with here, but just like a lot of heart in these characters where they just want to help everyone out, and no matter what they do or what they've done in the past, like you could always find some good in someone. So yeah, I definitely agree with Ryan as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the most impactful part of comics, and I'm pretty sure that's why comics still exist to this day, because of the message that they bring across.
Yeah.
To all sort of all types of audiences.
Yeah, like it's not just an escape of like reading and like, oh, like cool art, cool images, cool battle scenes. It's just like the whole story and emotional stakes that like these characters go through. Like it's just something that I align with, that I'm pretty sure Ryan aligns with, and like a lot of people who read comics is just like, yeah, like life is tough, but you just got to persevere.
Damn,
Yeah.
that is a banger quote. Someone needs to clip that. Life is tough, but you just gotta persevere. But yeah, it's not like, at first I wanted an escape, but now like that I keep reading, the way how I see these heroes act in every issue that I read, I want to be that type of person.
Yeah, I agree.
The way Superman is, that's the way I want to be. That's my favorite superhero. If you didn't know yet, Superman, especially in the James Gunn movie, the way James Gunn portrayed Superman and David Cornsweet, I think the way he is the Superman out of all the Supermen that I've watched, and you can debate me on that. That's fine. And everyone has their own opinions. I grew up with Christopher Reeve's Superman.
Yeah.
I think that was great. He was a great Clark Kent, but someone like an actual Superman, I think David Cornsweet portrays him really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my story for how I got into comics. I have over 100 issues now in the span of 2 months. Shout out to Andres for that. You owe me some cash.
Yeah, but honestly, like I didn't expect for Ryan to like get into this whole comic scene. So it was just amazing to see him, even starting this YouTube channel. Like I watch his YouTube channel like every single time he releases a video. Like I'm one of the first viewers just because it's so entertaining. Like I just love watching him and seeing what like pulls he has or like what he has to say or like what adventures he goes on. So
yeah,
honestly, like it's been my favorite like videos every Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you, Andres. And before we wrap things up, we want to announce a giveaway that I've been planning to do, and I didn't think it was gonna happen this fast. So we hit 100 subscribers in a span of like four videos, about a month and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
So I appreciate every single one of you, and I just want to give back as much as I can. We're gonna start off small, but before I show you what that giveaway is gonna be, the reason I want to do this is because when we went to Idaho to visit our friends Christian and Maria, your dad had given us comics.
Yeah.
To each of us, and he was a big comic collector in the past, and shout out to Mark if you're watching. But I remember him giving me these 2 comics, which I'll show in a moment, and had told me, like, don't sell this if you want to get rid of it. If you want to get rid of it, give it to someone else.
Yeah.
And to me, like, that's just like passing the torch to someone. And these 2 comics that he gave me, which is Invincible Ultimate Collection hardcover #1, was amazing. Amazing read. I'm on #2 already, and every time I read Invincible, I think it's just peak every single issue.
It is honestly addictive. Like the story that Mark Grayson goes through, like it is just amazing. Like so much chaos into it, but it's just you just can't stop. You just want to know more about like this whole like story and just like what struggles he goes through. So yeah, I agree. Like I sat down and read Invincible, like the whole series in probably like less than a week. Literally. Yeah.
And I can't believe that, 'cause there's 144 issues you're talking about.
Yeah. It was a lot, but I just couldn't stop. It was just amazing.
Yeah, and before I buy like any omnibus or compendium, it's gonna be Invincible. Like I love to read. The way I love to read is trade paperback, but my favorite way to collect is single issues. I'm sure you're kind of the same,
I
right?
agree. Single issues are just fun. And it's just like a collection to have, Going into the comic book every Wednesday. I look forward to that,
Yeah. And I forgot, I don't know if you mentioned, what did Mark give you from Idaho?
Oh, yeah. So thank you. Shout out to Mark, too.
Yes.
But he gave me Absolute of Watchmen. So it's not like the Absolute Batman that's coming out right now. It's kind of like just a bigger size of the Watchmen book. So it's honestly like one of the craziest things that I've ever gotten. And I don't know, it's just like one of the greatest stories as well. And yeah, like I totally agree with Mark. Like if you ever like want to get rid of your comics, like give it to someone who's passionate or curious or like someone who's young. Like these stories have so much to tell, you know. And I just thought it was so cool that like he just wanted to give it to someone who was like just as passionate as he was at his time.
Yeah. So thank you, Mark. Because of him inspiring us, giving us comics, I want to give back to the people who support me on the pull list with Ryan. So I really, really all appreciate you. But the giveaway is going to be Absolute Batman, the trade paperback that just came out. It's the Zoo arc. It's issue 1 through 6. So I'm really excited to give back to all of you. The way they're going to enter is you're going to comment down below on this video only. I repeat, this video only. Comment down below your favorite superhero and why is that your favorite superhero. Andres is Batman, mine is Superman. Let us know who your superhero is. And I'm going to do some sort of raffle system. And we're going to announce the winners on August 27th, 2025. It's going to be a Wednesday, so it's going to be on a pull list video. I don't even know what polls I'm having there, but the video or the winner of this raffle will be announced there. I'm going to ship it to you for free, no shipping costs, because why would I do that? That's messed up.
No.
And then I'm also going to be advertising this on TikTok and Instagram. So follow me on there on my TikTok, my Instagram if you haven't, so that we can see more of the rules. But everything is going to be in this video. So if you're watching it first, you do get first dibs to comment. And if you see it there, I'm only going to allow one entry per person to make it as fair as possible. So I really hope that you enjoy the giveaway, and more giveaways will happen in the future. And if you do like to have this type of video, maybe once a week, every couple of weeks, or even once a month, let us know, because I want to start doing a podcast with you about comics.
Definitely. I'd be so excited for that. But yeah, I'm so excited for you guys in the raffle as well. Absolute Batman, the Zoo. It is one of like the greatest stories right now. It's just really fun and entertaining. And if you even want to start getting into comics, I would strongly recommend it. Like it is a fun story to read.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Andres, for being here.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
And shout out to you guys for helping me set this up. Honestly, it means a lot. I'm so excited. But yeah, if you really enjoyed this video, smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. We're already at like 107 subscribers, so thank you to each and every one of you. And comment down below. Remember, every comment per person is one raffle entry. And just comment your favorite superhero. Let us know. Other than that, thanks for being here in this. And we will see you all on the next video.
See ya.
Peace.